What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a good one. It's the Carnage, the Target exclusive Carnage. Let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out.
Counterculture in your face. Fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.
As promised, today we'll be taking a look at the Target exclusive Carnage. Before we do, though, I want to give a shout out to my guy Denna Toys on Whatnot. He hooked me up with this. He got some early. He's got a couple extra if you're looking. So if you're over on Whatnot, certainly check out Denna Toys. Check out all the guys. We'll be out there. We're always there. So big props to my guy. So thank you, Den. All right, let's get into the figure here. Let's see what we've got going on. Keeping the Spider-Man retro cards alive. My favorite retro card in the entire Marvel Legends series. Maybe the X-Men ones aside, but the nostalgia vibes on these Spider-Man ones are just purely beautiful. So we got that card. We've got Carnage in there. There's a nice image of him on the side. Weapon arms. Flip it to the back. There's your little blueprint. There's another animated image of Carnage. After integrating with the symbiote Venom's offspring, dangerous criminal Cletus Cassidy became the ruthless villain Carnage. We know it. We love it. We've seen it. Here we are. There's your important information. Let's get him out of the box. Fresh out of the box, we can get a better look at what's going on in the package here. So you do get your tendril effect that ports into the back here. You've got a couple of hand accessory effects, so a blade and an axe to give you something to add to this. There are no like extra hands aside from that. I think these are perfect for what you might need. The main thing that's gonna probably like rub fans and collectors the wrong way, though, is the fact that this is almost exactly the Venom Pool Carnage that we received a few years back. So it is on the card. That takes itself to another set of collectors. So for those of you who were collecting on the card, this is the one you've been waiting for. For those of you who maybe missed out on previous Carnage figures, now's your opportunity to do so. And that tends to be why they limit these things to exclusives, right? We've already received versions of these before. Now it's a slightly altered version, and it's going to be a little bit more limited. That aside, let's take a closer look at the figure. Moving in closer, we get a good look at the main upgrade for this figure. This head sculpt is awesome. So this, far and away, is the best Carnage head sculpt, in my opinion, that we've received in the Legends line. So it's a significant upgrade over the Venom Pool Wave Carnage head sculpt. That's not a bad figure. I really do like that figure a lot. But this head sculpt, it's awesome. So that will certainly be where I'm going in my display. That is absolutely the highlight of this figure here. As I mentioned, we are on the same body as the Venom Pool Wave. You can see here are your pins. You've got your pins at the legs as well. Hands are exactly the same. Tendrils are the same. The toes are not painted on this one, so that is one of your main differences. And then the tendrils up here are actually painted, which is another big difference. So you can see here, like here's your Venom Pool one. You can see the tendrils aren't painted up there, but the toes are painted down there. Hands are the same. Everything, for the most part, is the same. Slight variations. This Target exclusive, the new one, is a brighter red. It's not a significant difference, but it's a little bit brighter, which I think actually comes off really nice in hand. And then there's the face sculpts. You can see, I mean, a lot more black on this Venom Pool release than on your new release, which is why I think I just love this head sculpt so much. For your hands, you do get the same set of hands we received on the Venom Pool Wave. So there are your two open hands. Great hands. I mean, I'm not sure what really needed to be done as far as upgrading. I think these really capture exactly what I'm looking for in my display. And then you get your effect hands. So these are nice. These are, I mean, always you want some good effect hands to go with your symbiotes. So they've provided these. I like this axe one. This is a really good looking hand here. A lot of detail in there. Good color match. It's got the black highlights as well, and then this blade as well. I think both are really nice. Both are good. I'm probably only going to use one in the main part of the display, so we'll see how that goes. Just like on your Venompool Carnage, this piece will just port right in the back there and then sits nicely as such. I'll move through the articulation quickly as it is the same figure we've previously seen, but for those of you who didn't have that, or maybe you're new to collecting, this might be worthwhile for you. So head will look down to about there so you can get the chin to touch the chest. He'll look up to about there so you get a decent angle. I mean, you'd probably love it if it went back maybe a little bit more. I don't think it needs to though. I like that angle there. That's good. Plenty of movement all the way around, and a little bit of rock too where you might need. Arms will move all the way around. Tendrils are a very pliable plastic, so they won't get in your way. You are on a butterfly. You have your upper bicep cut, and you are double jointed on pins at the elbows. Pins blend in nicely because they are the same red. Granted, I know that that's going to be the main point of contention for a lot of people. Why didn't they just upgrade this figure altogether? All right, ab crunch, basic ab crunch and hip swivel. Not a lot of gap there or in the back, but you do get some extra exposed red in the back there. Leg will kick up, pretty high. Go back to about there and then out to there. Upper thigh cut, double jointed, pinned at the knee. Boot cut down here at the calf as well, and then you do get your typical hinge and swivel at your ankles and your wrists. For comparison, here is your retro-carded Carnage backed up against your Venompool Wave Carnage. I've already discussed how much, it is the exact same figure with some very minor changes. So height-wise, it's going to be the same. Design-wise, it's going to be the same. It has the same raised texture to the sort of symbiote on there. Both very nice figures, so this is probably a choose your poison type situation. I tend to think like these retro carded ones are more geared towards inbox collectors or new collectors, right, who have missed out. It just gives an opportunity for other people to get these. Totally understand the criticism though with it being the exact same figure aside from the head and a few other small changes. It begs the question, why couldn't we get a totally updated Carnage instead of just getting the re-release? That's a discussion for another day, I suppose, and there'll definitely be another Carnage down the line at some point. So maybe it's not for everybody, and this is, if you want it, get it. If you don't want it, don't complain, don't get it. Move on. As you might imagine, the head swap is quite easily done since it is the same. The reds being slightly different, not super noticeable. So again, this is really, pick your poison on how you want to display this. I mean, this is just like a sea of carnage right here. Just all blends together. And here he is with your Cletus Cassidy head. A missed opportunity to not get a upgraded version with the new technology, right? So that may have been something that eased people's feelings a little bit. Here's Carnage with a couple of random Spider-Man figures, so your typical usual suspects here. You have your Amazing Fantasy and Pizza Spidey, just to give you an idea of range for Spider-Man heights, where your Carnage might fit in. And for one more comparison, here is your retro-carded Carnage backed up against your Ultimate Green Goblin Carnage. So, like a slight variation on the hand design here, so much better looking with the sort of raised design on there instead of just having the plain red piece there. So not totally the exact same thing, but I think in essence the same idea, right? So certainly if you missed out on the Venompool and you want a slight upgrade to your Carnage, I'd say go for it. Get this Target one. It is a nice figure. Alright folks, well there you have it. There is your retro-carded Target exclusive Carnage. This figure is not due out till October in the States, so being able to get an early look on this figure is super exciting. I'm glad that I was able to get it and do that. There are some things that, the major criticism here obviously is that it is the same figure as the Venom Pool. I've said that a few times already. I just want to make sure that, I'm not just sitting here saying it's a beautiful, awesome, perfect figure. It's a great figure. I like this figure a lot. This design is so good, but it is the same figure. It is an easy way to get this out there again. So mostly I would have loved to have seen a new sculpt, a new figure for Carnage. I know that ultimately that will happen at some point down the line, but for now this will work, and it is still a great looking figure. This head sculpt is fantastic. I love this head sculpt. This, even though is a minor difference between the Venom Pool Carnage, this one's gonna replace that Venom Pool, because I like the updates. Right, we got a few updates and I like those, so that's the important thing for me. Is this a figure for everybody? Absolutely not, right? There are people who absolutely sit this out, and that's totally understandable. You've probably already got it, right? For you retro card collectors, I think you're excited about this the most. If you keep these on card, inbox for your display, the more of these characters you can get on the card, I think the more excited you are. And I totally appreciate that. It's not my style of collecting, but I certainly appreciate it. So, if you're looking forward to it, or if you're not, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's get some dialogue about this figure, right? I'd like to see where you guys are at on this. Anyway, that's the 2 cents. I've rambled on about this figure. I appreciate you for checking out the video, stopping in, hanging out as long as you have. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.